but yeah, I think tuning should be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna record all of these classes, and if anyone ever gets sick, or you're traveling for work and you need the packet, we'll send out PDFs. Okay, super simple. And if you need to rewatch the the video, this is my wife Renata, and she is the administrator for these classes, and so you guys will be talking with her, and she can send you the video, a link to the video on YouTube. Okay.
And actually, real quick before we start, the clipboard is out here. Did everybody sign the clipboard? Yes? Okay. If you did it, raise your hand if you did not sign it. Okay, I'm just going to pass it around again.
She's 10 months old. She's so cute. That's a Hava, my little baby.
Right, so your name might be on here already. It's alphabetized by last name. This is a Hava. She is like a comedian.
She's
always
outside.
trying to make people smile. So anyway, if you already signed up for the class, then you'll find your name on here. So you just want to check here on August 7th that you're here. If you don't find your name, there's more sheets in the back. So just sign your name, include your email so I can put you on the class roster, okay? So I'll just pass it around this way. And if you already signed it, just pass it to the next person.
Cool. So my name is Bo Lee. I am the head instructor for the NYC Guitar Group. We have over 5,000 guitarists on the NYC Guitar Group. So you guys probably found out about this on Meetup, right? Cool. So we're gonna dive into a beginner class here, and we move really nice and quickly. So you're not gonna get bored in these classes, okay? This beginner class is actually a 4-month class, but you guys are welcome to come for 1 month, and the first month is completely free, and you can stop at the end of the first month if you want to. No charge, no problem. There's no expectations that you continue on. But we do think that it's going to be a great class, and I think that you'll enjoy it. And so if you want to go on for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th months, you're totally welcome to do that as well. It's totally up to you, okay? So with that said, we're going to dive into this. The first thing that you want to know with the guitar is that you're going to want to determine how you're going to hold this guitar. Okay? So a lot of people, what they'll do is they will hold it basically on their left leg, especially if you're a right-handed guitarist. Okay? So you can just set this little part right here, set it right there on your left leg. Some people like it, like you, on the right leg. And that's fine too. There's no rule on which one's going to be better, okay? If I was going to sit down and play, let's see, how would I do it? I'd probably sit here with my right leg. Yeah, that's how I do it, right leg, okay? But sometimes, I don't like the left leg, I like the right leg. But you can make a choice of whatever you want. Now you notice when I play, I use 2 hands. Okay, what is the left hand doing? And you're going to be surprised at how simple it is to play songs. What is my left hand responsible for? What's that?
Fretting.
Yeah, fretting, or basically playing chords, right? And so what I have here is I have, on page 1, I have every one of the basic chords that if you can learn those chords, you can play thousands and thousands of songs. Okay? And I have on here the exact fingering that you have to use for the most effective way to play those chords. Okay? So I'll show you how to read those charts in just a minute, but that's dealing with your left hand. And then what is my right hand responsible for? Okay, see this? This is a guitar pick, and I like to use a guitar pick because listen to the difference between using your thumb and using a pick, okay? Listen to this when I play with my thumb. That's with my thumb, right? Doesn't sound bad, right? Here's with a pick. What do you notice? You think it sounds better? Yeah, I think so too. You can hear it better. It's a little more trebly. It travels farther. It's louder. So I think all of us should be using a guitar pick. Okay, they're really cheap. They're probably $0.25 each or 30 cents each. No problem. So go to a guitar shop and you can grab these. Now, these picks, they come in different thicknesses, and it really matters a lot what the thickness is. Okay? So you have thin picks, which are really, really floppy, like paper. And I don't think we want those because they're just a little too floppy. You have thick picks that are thick like a quarter and they don't move at all. You don't want that because when you hit the strings, it sounds like you're playing with a quarter. You hear too much of the clicking when you hit the strings. This is a happy medium. It's a medium pick, okay? So you can go to a guitar shop and just say, I want medium picks. Pick any color that you want. But write that down real quick on that first page so that you know to go grab them. You want medium. And so with that said, what I do is I only hold the pick with 2 fingers. Never, ever touch the pick with these 2 fingers. Repeat that. Seriously, because I tell people that and I still see them grabbing it like this. Don't ever touch the pick with these 3 fingers. You don't need it. What I do is I have the pick stick, the pointy part of my pick stick right out the side of my thumb. You see, exactly out the side. And I just touch my pointer, tip of my pointer finger to my thumb, like I was just going to touch the 2 tips together like that. Okay? And then I stick that pick in there, and I have it so that the pick goes up to the top of my thumb. You see that? Yep, I can come close. You see how that goes to the top of my thumb? See that? But it's sticking out of the side of my thumb. The pointy part is sticking out of the side of my thumb. See that? So you put your fingers together like this, your pointer finger and your thumb, right? Then you slide your pick in there. The pointy part of the pick sticks right out of the side. If I stuck my thumb pointing straight up, the pick would be sticking right out of the side, right? But the pick goes to the top of my thumb, okay? And when I strum, my arm is going to strum like this, going parallel to the side of the guitar. And so what's going to hit? Just that pick sticking out, right? See that? If you have a pick and you guys try that real quick, take your hands, barely touch the strings, and what that'll do is it'll make it so they don't sound, and it just clicks. Okay? Now, see my bottom 3 fingers? What am I doing with my bottom 3 fingers? They're sticking out. Okay? There's a reason for that. Someday, when you become, advanced rhythm players, watch this. I'm actually putting the palm down once in a while. And I'm muting the strings, okay? So the reason that I'm teaching you to develop a good habit now is because I'm thinking into your future. And I'm trying to help you out, okay? And you don't have to relearn things then. A lot of people like to go like this. And what's going to happen is these knuckles are going to be hitting the strings and getting in the way. You don't want to do that. You want to stick those out, let them hang like this. Got that? Okay? Now listen, if you forget some of these little details with this pick, it's okay. It's not a huge deal. Over the next, period of time, you'll develop the right way. So I'll just say those things to you. You'll be in good shape. Okay, now what we're going to do, we've talked about the left hand. Now we're going to talk about what the right hand does. The right hand strums rhythms, right? Now, the person who first starts playing, a lot of times they're going to do rhythms wrong because they do stuff like this. Okay, let me put a chord up here. And they might go. Right? And you notice that it's very erratic, the strumming that we're doing. The right way to play rhythm, it's very important that you learn this concept. Do this. Strum in front of your strings and don't stop, don't pause. Down, up, 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 down, up. If I was going to watch you playing rhythm and I plugged my ears and just watched you, I should see your hand moving consistently like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. No pauses. Okay? If I plugged my ears and I saw your hand go like this, that's a problem, right? So watch me now. Watch all the rhythms that I can get while keeping that hand pumping. Ready? See that? It always keeps moving, right? And so all the rhythms that I want to create, it's just I'll be creating them by a different series of I'll hit sometimes and I'll miss sometimes, but I will never stop that hand moving. All right? So what I developed on the next page, page 2, is I developed a really easy way for us to communicate about rhythms. Okay? So we'll call this an 8-stroke rhythm. That means there's 8 hand motions in this pattern that I'm going to teach you. And what you'll do when you're playing songs is you will repeat that pattern over and over and over and over throughout an entire song. All right? And here's how it goes. You see the arrows? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's just telling you which direction it's from. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, if there's a black dot underneath the arrow, then you hit it. And if there is an arrow but it doesn't have a black dot underneath it, what do? You miss it. That's it. Okay? And I'll show you guys on here in case you need to pause it and look at it. Got it? So now, at first, it's not going to sound like a rhythm. It's going to sound just like a bunch of smashing of your guitar. Okay? But listen to this. Ready? So, if you did it really slow, it would sound like this. Miss, hit, hit, miss, hit, hit, hit. Does that make sense? Do it again. Hit, miss, hit, hit, miss, hit, hit, hit. Now, if you practiced it for about a half hour or 45 minutes, here's what would happen. You would start to sound faster. Ready? Listen to this. And if you ever got to the point where as soon as you get to the very last arrow, which is which direction? Up, right? And you immediately started it over again so that there was no pause and no break, this is what it would sound like if you got to be pretty fast at it. Ready? Now look, if you plugged your ears and just watched my hand, what would you notice? Consistent, right? Down, up, 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 down, right? Now listen to this with chords. We'll go back to page 1 and look at all the black chords, the ones that I highlighted in black. How many black chords do you see? 5. If you learn those 5 that I highlighted in black, because I wanted to show you, yeah, these chords are all really important, but just those 5 are super, super important, and with them you could play thousands of songs. In fact, I had a student who was an incredible songwriter. I taught her from scratch, and she wrote a whole album in her first year of playing, and I produced it for her, and they're amazing songs. It was crazy, the natural ability. But those 5 chords are sufficient, okay? So watch this. We go to page, let's go to page 5. Let's go to page 4. Okay. You see above the words, it tells you the chords that you're supposed to play. What's the first chord that you play in a song "Time of Your Life" by Green Day? G. And there's a number next to it, and the number tells you how many rhythms to play. Super, super easy to understand. So I'm gonna what you'll have to do when you get home is you'll have to go to your chord chart and look at the G chord, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay? Sounds like that. And what I would do is I would play two of those rhythms on this chord. So listen to this. And again, what's after that? E, M, which stands for E minor. And minor chords are a little bit sad or serious sounding. Okay, so 2 times. What's next? 1 time, and then D. And then G 2 times, right? Oh, actually that's not Time of Your Life. I actually typed that in wrong today. Sorry about that. It's Stand By Me. When the night is gone, the land is dark, and the moon is the only thing that I see. Oh, I know being free, for a while I want being free, just as long as stand by me. Now, if you notice at the beginning of the chorus, the first 2 chords of the chorus, what does it say? It says half rhythm, right? So all you're going to do is just do the first 4 strokes of your rhythm. That's it. Now, take a second to figure out how fast can I move from one chord to the next. Okay, watch me again. See that? Okay, so your goals are very, very, very crystal clear. You need to learn to play those 5 chords, memorize them, and you've got to learn to shift your hands between those chords as fast as I just did. How fast was that? What was that?
2 minutes.
About a half second per chord. About a half second per chord. That's your goal. Okay? You want to memorize those 5 chords that I highlighted in black, and you need to learn to start shifting between them. By the way, when you first start trying to play them, it's going to take you a minute per chord. And it's going to feel so uncomfortable, and that's totally natural, and it felt the same way for me. And your fingertips are going to hurt so bad, they're going to feel like they're bleeding because you have little baby, fingertips. Look at this. You'll eventually build some calluses on your fingers. And you're going to be so grateful when you finally do that, because it's not very good. And then just make sure you don't go on vacation. And when I go on vacation and I lose my calluses, they start to heal from the inside. And then when I start playing again, it feels like I'm a beginner again. And so yeah, it'll hurt, and that's okay. Beat them up a little bit. Beat them up. I like, I used to put them over candles and try to beat them up, because you're like 21 years old and you're like, dude, this is the cool thing to do, beat up these fingers because I'm gonna go all the way with this part. So yeah, does that make sense? And then what you need to do is you need to get this rhythm down. So how fast do you need to learn those 5 chords? How fast do you have to move between them? Half second per chord, no problem. You guys will do it. You got to give yourself a few weeks, because the guitar looks a lot easier than it is to play, right? It looks like it's easy when you watch people, but then you try to play it and you're like, oh, this is frustrating. And everybody thinks they're worse than everybody else. But everybody has to start at the beginning. Okay, now with the strumming, does anyone have a timer? Anyone have a stopwatch on your phone? Pull it out. And I'm going to show you how fast I want you to play 8 rhythms. We're going to set a goal. You're going to watch me, see how fast I play it, and that's going to be your goal. Okay? Ready? Yep, get ready. And I'm going to play 8 rhythms, and then you can stop. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. That's halfway. Nice. 15.38 seconds. So you have to do it in less time than me. It'll give you 15 seconds to do 8 of them, okay? So right up on the top of page 2, write goal, colon, 8 rhythms in under 15 seconds. Could you get a clearer goal than that? Right there, boom, that's it. And if you can play it 8 times in a row in under 15 seconds, that right hand is fully sufficient to play songs. If you can, with your left hand, if you can learn those 5 chords and switch between them in a half second per chord, your left hand is fully sufficient to be playing chords. Right now, you probably never would believe it, but I could print off 1,000 songs for you to play with those 5 chords. If you were to actually search the chords for the most popular songs on the radio right now, most of them would be played in totality with those 5 chords. Isn't that crazy to think about? You never would have guessed it, that songs are that easy. So with that said, should we try the chords? Let's try it. Let's go to page 1. And we're going to make sure we can read these a lot. Most of the work that you guys do will be done at home this week, but I'll make sure you guys are equipped and ready to rock with this, okay? So the left column does not have a little m next to it, right? And that means they're going to be major chords and they're going to be happy chords, okay? So the top left chord is called A major, right? The top right chord is called what? A minor. The left column will be called minor chords. You can write that in if you want. And they're going to have a different quality. Let's listen, ready? Here's your A major chord. Listen to the sound. Happy or sad? Now here's A minor. Sad, right? Or serious. So you will learn the A minor, the C major, the D major, the E minor, and the G major. And with that, let's check it out. Let's go to the E minor chord first. On the right column, down towards the bottom. The guitar, it's like it's held like this, and it's like you're looking at the chord chart like that. You see? See how there are 6 strings? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to see 6 vertical lines, right? Those will be the 6 strings. Okay? These things, what are they called? The frets. This is fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4. So we're talking about spaces. Okay? And so those are numbered on the right side of the chords. So we're starting with E minor. Here's your 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, and 4 finger. Your thumb just goes right on the back, okay? So we're going to put the thumb in the back, and we're going to curl these fingers over like this, and we're going to place them on the correct strings and the correct frets. And then we need to press the strings down until they hit the wood. Okay, so 1 finger, what string does it start on? The way that I'm going to call this the 1 string. 2 string, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some other people do it the opposite way, but to me, the one that's closest to me seems like it should be 1. That's how I'm going to do it here, okay? So my 1 finger is going to go on what string? 2nd string, what fret?
2nd fret.
Boom. Put it right on the fingertip, and try not to let it touch the string below it or on top of it. So that means you've got to get on the fingertip. Take your 2 finger. Where does that go? 3rd string, 2nd fret, right? And that's it. Again, stay right on the fingertips. Don't let them touch the strings underneath. Because if the fatty part of your finger hangs over and touches the string below it, it will mute it. So So press it down, nice and hard and strum. Sweet. Good stuff. Some of us are playing it right, but they're out of tune and it just sounds bad, so we just need to tune up, tune it up. Okay. Okay, now put your hand behind your back. Do it again. Put your hand behind your back, do it again. That's how you're going to get fast. Boom. Got that? That's how you're going to memorize it. That's how you're going to get it fast. Now, when I first started playing, I would do these chords in multi-movement kind of segments. So I would go like this. I'd go 1, 2. But eventually you want to make all of these chords into one movement. So you put both fingers where they need to be at the same time. Got that? That'll take some practice. I don't expect that to happen right away. Let's go to the A minor chord, top right. Okay, point your finger. What string does it go on? Fifth string. What fret? First fret. Boom, there you go. And your 2 and the 3 fingers, figure out where they go. You might have to take a little bit of time to do this, especially for some of you guys who have never looked at chord charts before. I'm sure some of you have looked at them before. Yeah? The little what? Oh, good question. So we need to talk about that. So at the top of each string, of each chord, you're going to see X's sometimes. And if you see an X, that means you're not supposed to play that string. So what you could actually do is you could take a little pen and put a squiggly line over that string to remind you, don't play that one. Okay? If there is an O, that means that string is open, there's no fingers on it, but you can still play it. So basically the only thing you have to know is just if there's an X, you don't play that string. So with the A minor, how many strings do you get to strum? 4. The bottom 5 strings, right? Skip the top one. And then it actually is important that you remember that, okay? Because sometimes if you add that string in there that's not supposed to be there, it won't sound very good. Got it? Good job. Okay, so that's the A minor. We're going to go to the C chord now on the left column. Okay. Do one finger at a time. It'll be systematic. Okay, so our C looks like this. Okay. Now, what you can do, here's how you can test yourself, because all of our chords are going to pretty much sound bad at the beginning. Just the way it goes. Okay? So, we're going to talk about how to make your chords sound better. If you look at your fingernails right now, and they're long, you're in trouble, because it really makes a difference. It really does, because here's what happens. If I take my finger and I go to press the string down, I'm supposed to press it down until it hits the wood, right? But if your fingernail is sticking out past your finger, what's going to happen is, as you're trying to press your finger down to make the string hit the wood, what's going to hit first? Your nail will hit before your finger can actually get down to the, to the wood. And so it really does matter. So you need to go home and you need to hack away your fingernails. For people who gig and play live, if they're on tour and they get to some show and it's about to start and then they realize, oh no, I haven't cut my nails, I have to start biting them or something. Gotta get them down. Gotta cut them down. Okay, don't cut them too short though, it hurts really bad. Really bad. Okay? So cut them down as far as you can, and yet without like ripping them away from your fingers. And that will be nice, because watch this. If I'm playing this C chord and I'm not pressing the strings down to the wood, listen when I pick each string individually. lot of that, right? And that's because I'm not pressing it down far enough. Now watch when I press it down all the way. Listen to the difference. See that? Okay, now, I want you to be on your fingertips and not like this. You see this? Take a guess on what's going to happen if my fingers are like this. They're going to be touching all the strings underneath. And what happens if you barely touch a string? Listen to when I strum. It mutes them, right? So if this finger's pressing a string down, but the fatty part's hanging over and barely touching the string below it, that string's going to go dead. It's not going to sound. So that's why when I sing fingertips, I'm talking, you see that kind of fingertip? I'm talking that. I'm not talking that. That's not the fingertip. See? That's not the fingertip. That's the fingertip. Way up there. So you want to have good form, and it's going to make a huge difference to the sound. Okay? Yeah?
Can I ask you just to twist your guitar around and show me where your thumb is resting on the neck, because a lot of times your fingers slide up and down.
Yeah. So, see that? I'm going to show it on the, I'll show it on the video too. You see that? See how it's in the back? Now what happens is, the more you curve your thumb around this way, what happens to your fingertips? The more that you go around this way, what's happening to your fingertips? They're going down, they're flatter, right? So you want to get that thing nice in the back and get those fingers way up and arched. Okay?
Do that sometimes to stop the top sweat.
Oh yeah. Some people do that, yep. So with that said, can you guys try your C chord and then pluck one string at a time and test them? And I do anticipate that there will be, some of you guys will have half your strings not sounding, and that's okay. You're just beginners, so it's fine. It's going to take you a good month to really start to work on that, but you've got to be patient, right? Look at me right now, ready? Listen. Say, I will be patient with myself, You have to, because seriously, people get discouraged and they get really frustrated, and so many people start the guitar and they just quit right away because they look at all the people who've been playing for a while and they think they should be better, and they just think they're terrible. But everybody's terrible when you first start, right? You gotta be patient. Just give yourself a chance, okay? Okay, let's go to the G major chord, or D. Let's do D major. So this is just using the bottom three strings, and it's using these three fingers, right? So D major, yeah. We're just doing the black chords right now. How many strings are you allowed to strum? Bottom 4, right? Just the bottom 4. Yeah. Okay, and once you strum it, pluck one string at a time, just test them. And I anticipate a lot of them aren't going to sound. And so you'll just have to learn to, adjust them over the next few weeks. Just be wrestling with those fingers, because it's very uncomfortable to play these chords at first. Got that? Now let's go to the last chord. The last chord in black that we haven't done is the G major. Okay, all 4 fingers are being used. This is a great chord though. Really nice sounding chord. Okay? Your 2 finger goes up on the top string, 3rd fret. Pointer finger. Your 1 finger, what string does it go on? To the second, I call it the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And then your other 2 fingers go down to the bottom. And I'll show that, the G major chord. That, and then these 2 fingers go down to the bottom. And how many strings do you get to strum?
6.
All 6 strings, yep. That's right. And guess what, folks? That's it. That's all the chords that I want you learning right now. I don't want you to focus on too much stuff and then get overwhelmed by it. Get those 5 chords down. nail them, and what you're going to find after that, when you get really good at those 5 chords, when you want to add one more chord, it's easy, right? You understand and read the charts, you just add the other ones. Don't focus on any of the other chords right now unless you already know them. If you do know them, take your pens out right now, and I'm going to give you the other ones that I want you to learn, okay? But my major interest is that you get those first 5 down, because a lot of the songs that we play are going to be using those 5. Take your pen, and after you get the black ones down, and if you feel comfortable, and if you want to go forward and try some more, here's the other ones that I'll have you do. A major, circle that. Circle just the letter A. And then go to D minor. D as in dog, minor. Go to E as in Edward, major. And that's it. Now the rest of them, can you see that there are some chords that use, you see 1 going all the way across them? That's called a bar chord. And that is your worst nightmare. That is every guitarist's worst nightmare, and I still hate playing them even though I've been a professional guitarist for half my life. Okay? I still hate playing them, and I avoid songs that make me play lots and lots and lots of them. Because it cramps up your muscles, but I'll show you what they look like. Okay? Looks like this. Here's my F major. See? It's kind of a little more rock sound. We'll get into that eventually, and you will get into that in this class too. So, but they're torturous. Those you've got to have a lot of patience on. You have to, okay? But for right now, let's not deal with that. Let's just get these things done, okay? So my recommendation for you would be that when you practice these chords, here's what I would do. I would do A minor, then C. Then back to A minor, then D. Then back to A minor, then E minor. Then back to A minor, and then G. You see what I did? I picked one chord, and then I cycled, bounced to all of the other ones. And then you pick the next chord, which would be C. Do C, A minor, C, E minor, C, D, C, E minor, C, G. What would you do next? Try D, right? D, A minor, D, C, D, E minor, D, G. And what this is going to do is it's going to teach you to go from any chord to the other chords. Now watch this. When I play a C, and then I go to an A minor, how many fingers do you have to move to go from C to A minor? Just 1. Okay? So you're going to want to identify that in certain situations, you don't have to move all of your fingers. So watch this. If I go from C to A minor, look at this. C, A minor, C, A minor. I can keep 2 of the 3 fingers there. Okay? And then if I go from G to E minor, watch this. See? That pointer finger is an anchor finger. And so you want to identify the anchor fingers between some of these chords. It's going to speed you up. Got it? Okay, that's all I want. And what's your goal for those chords? Memorize them, and then what do? How fast? Half second between each chord. So what you could do is you could take a piece of paper and write a string of chords. Write them in all different orders. And you just start playing between them. Boom, 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 boom. And you're going to try to get about a half second per chord. If you could do it in a month, great. Some of you guys might do it in 2 weeks. I don't know. We'll see. But you're not competing with each other. You're going to compete with yourself. That's the best way to do it. Okay? Now, let's go to the 8-stroke rhythm. I want everybody to give that a try now, okay? Okay? Take your fingers and mute the strings. Barely touch them. And then you're going to get a click sound. That's how I want you to practice this right now. You can just even lay all of these fingers, just barely touch them. Just lay them down. Just kind of like, so you're touching all the strings, and it's not going to sound. Now try that rhythm. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down. Right now I am. Down, up, up, down, up. Up, down, up. And how fast do we need to get with this eventually? When you're at home, once you memorize this rhythm and you get it fast enough, then start trying to loop it, right? Do it over and over and over again. And how fast do you want to do 8 of them? Less than 15 seconds, right? Very good. So you can have people, if you have a roommate, have your roommate start to time you. And what I usually have students do, because I teach one-on-one lessons as well, I'll actually time them and I'll write their times down on the bottom. And then once they get a time written down there, then that becomes their goal, and they need to try and beat that time, right? So you're competing with yourself. In everything that you do on the guitar, you don't compete with other people, because that's going to make you frustrated and it will make you discouraged if that other person ends up being better than you for whatever reason. Maybe they have twice as much time to practice, right? Everybody has different amounts of time to practice. So you compete with yourself, and the trick is that as long as you keep beating your old self, you're going to get better and better and better and better and better and better and better. And I'd rather have you guys do like 20 minutes a day or half an hour a day than to do like a 5-hour chunk on a Saturday. Do a little bit every single day. That's going to be the best for you, okay? Or less, like 6 days a week. Okay? Cool. Good job, you guys. Now, let's go ahead and let's go to a song. And did you think you'd start playing songs the first week? You can, and you should. It's not going to sound fantastic if you're a true beginner, but that's okay, right? That's where we start. We start somewhere, and then we just take it a little bit at a time. Let's go to Time of Your Life by Green Day on page 4. No, that's not Time of Your Life. Let's do Country Roads on page 5. Never listened to John Denver in my life, but I had a student that wanted to play this song. You like John Denver? Cool. Cool. Awesome. Well, it's nice that it's the first song you ever got for money, right? So, it's a good guitar song. Really nice. Just super chill. I like it. I'm glad my student showed me this. So, start with a G chord, okay? And you'll have to probably go back, maybe even rip out that chord chart and put it next to it. You play the chord, you strum it how many times? How many rhythms? 2 rhythms. If you have to undo the staple and kind of like set your chord chart and your rhythm chart and then your song, you can. By the way, another thing that you could do, if you want to, is you can write the rhythm on the song chart itself. Write 8 arrows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then put the dots underneath it. I'll show you. Like that if you want to. That way you don't have to have both sheets sitting right in front of you. So if you want to, you can put it there. And I want to tell you something about the rhythm. That rhythm's not just a basic beginner rhythm. I didn't give you a lame rhythm just because you're beginners. That's actually a legitimate rhythm, and it's probably the most popular rhythm in the world. So it's not a basic rhythm that you're going to give up later on. No, you'll use this when you become advanced players. You'll use it all the time. That's probably the most common rhythm that I use even today. Okay, so it's a legitimate rhythm. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, ready? I got one more thing to give you today. Okay, this is really cool. So if you feel like you're advancing with this stuff, I'm going to show you how to make your rhythm not sound like you're a beginner anymore and make you sound like you're an intermediate player. Okay? What you'll do is go to your chart, go to your rhythm chart, the 8-stroke rhythm chart, and draw a lightning bolt underneath the first arrow, just like that. Okay. And what I want you to do with that is don't do this right away until you get this rhythm down, but then you can start to do this where that first hit, you just hit the top string. And then all the other hits, you go down and strum the bottom 3 strings. Okay? And I'll show you what it sounds like. It sounds really beautiful. Don't do it right away. Do it once you get the rhythm down. But watch this. Ready? Do you like that better than this? Maybe? They're both nice, right? I think it just depends what you're trying to accomplish. But that sounds really professional, right? Boom, ba da 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 da, boom, da 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 da. So you can work on that eventually.
So you hit only the top string
that you're allowed to play for that particular chord.
that you allowed, yeah.
Okay? So remember how some chords don't allow you to play the top string?
Yeah.
That means that when you hit that lightning bolt hit, you're going to do it on the 2nd string from the top. Okay? And if you look at your chord chart with the D major, how many strings are you allowed to strum? You have to actually skip the top 2 strings. So when you hit your lightning bolt hit, what string are you going to hit? 3rd string down from the top. That's right. See that? Don't worry about it yet though, right? I don't want to complicate things too much. The best way to learn is to kind of just be like, you know, the horses, how they have those things on the side, right? So they don't get distracted. You just kind of like lock in. So just work on those 5 chords. Get those down to a ½ second per chord. Work on this rhythm. Learn to repeat it over and over again and do it 8 times in less than how many seconds? That's it. Then I'd say go start trying those songs. That's it, guys. That's
Just repeat what you said about that lightning thing again.
yeah, the lightning bolt thing. So
What strings are those?
so the lightning bolts hit you'll just hit the highest note that you're allowed to hit for that particular chord, and then the rest of the rhythm you're going to strum on what strings? The bottom 3. Okay.
Oh, okay, so you don't hit the top note for
Again,
the rest of
not for the rest of the entire rhythm. So you're just going to hit that bass note, then you go down to the bottom 3 strings and you strum it out the rest of the time. And actually my opinion is that I think you should pinch your pick a little bit harder when you hit that bass note because it will make it louder. And I think the bass note should be louder than the other ones.
And
I think that
which
sounds
is the
perfect.
bass note, the top note?
The top note. So listen, when I say bass note, I mean the lowest note, like the lowest sound. Boom, boom. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay, I'm going to finish up by asking if you have any questions at all.
One question.
Yeah.
Holding the guitar, tilted back at all, or is it supposed to be straight?
Yeah, you don't want to tilt it too much.
Huh?
You don't want to tilt it too much.
Tilt it a little bit, right?
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure that's fine. But a lot of times if people do tilt it, it's because they can't see what's happening. But over time, you're gonna do it by feel, you know?
So it'll be like this.
It'll develop. Yeah, when I first started playing,
Yeah.
like if I was gonna skip the first string and hit the second string, I was like, how can I? They're like this close together. How do I do that? You know what I mean? But it's just really weird. Over time, you just get really comfortable, kind of splitting the hairs on the neck. It just comes with practice. So, yeah. Cool, guys. Have a great day. Let me figure out where everybody's from. Who's from Brooklyn here? Brooklyn, me. All right, nice. Who's from Bronx? Nice. You're a Lone Ranger here, man. Wow. Okay. We usually have a lot of Bronx people. Queens? Manhattan? The Staten Island? The 6th borough, New Jersey?
I live in Jersey.
All right.
I live in Jersey.
Nice. Good stuff, guys. Well, hey, it's nice to meet you. And actually, you guys seem to be picking it up really quickly. It's nice. Nice.
What is this last week?
That last thing we can talk about next week.
Oh, okay.
By the way, guys, the last thing has to do with, it's called pig picking. And I'll show you real quick what that looks like. The very last thing, listen to this. Ready? That kind of stuff, okay? But we can get into that next week. All right? Good job, you guys. And again, just a little side note, I'll tell you a little bit more about the NYC Guitar Group. So we teach beginner classes that move people along really far. And then after the beginner classes, we have intermediate classes that go even further. By the time you get to the end of an intermediate class, which is also, it's about 3 months long, you'll have more knowledge than your typical guitar teacher. Nobody believes me when I says it, when I say that, until they get through the class and then they realize, whoa, I totally know what he's talking about now. Okay, and then we do a high intermediate class. So just if you guys want to, you guys can progress as far as you want. This is a free month in August in a 4-month class, and if you guys want to stop at the end of this month, totally fine. We also teach on Thursday nights. We teach one-on-one lessons. Okay, so they're usually about a half an hour to an hour, and so just thought I'd just mention that as well. Okay, we do jams once in a while, jam sessions, and that's a great place to kind of see more advanced players play. And our next jam session is in September, right, in Dumbo, Brooklyn.
Actually, it's going to be the end of August.
End of August, yeah.
And 24th, yeah, it's in the Dumbo Archway. You know where that is? It's under the Manhattan Bridge. It's like a really cute spot.
Yeah, it's cool.
Dumbo's great. And so it's a really beautiful view. And so we're going to have a jam session. About 40 guitarists will be there. If you just want to come and watch,
yes,
that's all we can. You don't have to feel pressured to like already come up with something.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Huge benefit to watching people. And there's people of all different skill levels there. And so you would feel totally fine just coming and watching. So have a good week, guys.
Did everybody get a chance to sign that before? Yeah? Okay, cool.
Sorry, one more thing real quick. Please check on YouTube how to tune your guitar this week. I might be able to refer to it next week a little bit, but I probably won't be able to sit and grab all your guitars and tune them all up, okay? But I will give you some tips on that. And you had a question?
Yeah, so for the next 4 weeks, what would be the progression of the classes? Like, what are we going to be learning?
A lot, even into doing guitar solos. I'm really serious. Like, you will learn to do guitar solos. Yeah, and probably, I know this might be a little, this is interesting, but you might learn about music theory and how to write songs, how to pick chords that sound good together when writing songs and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So I think you already learned a little bit of theory, right? And we'll dive into that probably a little bit deeper, so should be good. But you seem to do pretty well. You've been playing a little for a while?
A little bit.
Cool.
I picked it up since
Okay.
with a teacher. But it's like really sporadic. We see each other every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks.
You need
Not
consistency. You
consistent.
need consistency. I have some students that I've tried teaching every other week before, and it doesn't work. They get stunted. Like, they progress probably half as fast, not even half as fast as my other students. You need like that weekly gap. It's really important. Yeah.